What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Sean, and this channel is all about helping you guys plan, design, build, and upgrade your garage. As you know, my future garage build is going to have solar on the roof and is basically going to charge EV cars for free. But unfortunately today we're talking about selling my Tesla. At the end of this video, I'm going to do a full recap on how much it cost me to drive my Tesla 20,000 miles. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Today is a sad day. We are saying goodbye to my 2019 Tesla Model S, and it's been a great ride. It's been the best daily driver I've ever had, and I'm going to take you through a few things that I absolutely love about it, a few things that I don't really like about it, but overall, this has been the best daily driver I've ever had. Stay tuned. All right, one of the last drives in the Model S here. So one of the big things I love about this car is just how smooth it is. For a daily driver, you absolutely want something that's smooth, that, you know, just, and maybe you don't want that, but when I think of daily driver, I want something that's smooth, that has good acceleration, that's quick, but also relaxing to drive, but engaging if you want it to be. So that's really why I like the Model S, is it's got a ton of power when you want it. On-ramps are still so much fun, but then once you get onto the highway, you can literally pull back twice on the cruise control stick and engage auto steer and adaptive cruise. So it's really just a relaxing experience and fun and engaging when you want it to be. So let's go down a road here. I'll try and find an area where we can use cruise, adaptive cruise, and show you what that's all about. All right, guys, so we are now driving on a back road in Wisconsin. We've got auto steer or autopilot engaged. We are rolling at about 40 miles an hour here, and it just changed down to 35, so we'll bump it down to 35. But you can see that the car follows the lanes. Now you've got your auto steer and your cruise control engaged. I also have full self-driving on this car. I'm not in the beta program, so I don't have that release yet, but this is one of the best features of the car that's out. It is so relaxing. It's one of the best daily driver cars because it has this feature as well. You can hammer down the on-ramp, have a lot of fun, be very engaging with the car, but then pull twice on this stalk to engage autopilot, and you know, it's just a much more relaxing experience for everybody. This car is just so smooth and so quiet and just kind of effortless on the acceleration. We're gonna hop on the on-ramp here and kind of show you what the acceleration is all about. There is a car in front of me, but we will give it the beans a little bit here. So already to 60. It's one of the best things about this car is just effortless acceleration. It's not the performance model, but it still has a ton of acceleration, and I absolutely love that. So now that you are on the highway, you can engage one pull for auto cruise control. Put that at 70, and now again I still have control of the car because I can still steer it, but if I pull back again, it will engage autopilot or auto steer. And since I have full self-driving, I have the automatic lane change. You're gonna see a car coming up on my left here. There it is. And so once this car passes, I will put the blinker on and it'll find a spot for the car, and then it will move the car over. And now if I want to change back to the other lane, put the blinker on, finds a spot, changes the car back over. If I was navigating on autopilot, there's a truck coming up here that has a trailer on it. So if I was navigating on autopilot, it would auto lane change and take me around this car based on understanding that I'm going the speed limit, this guy's going below the speed limit. And so it would move me around. But since I'm not navigating anywhere, it will slow me down and keep me behind this car. So if I want to pass this car, then I would put the blinker on, it'll change lanes, and then it will speed back up to the designated speed. So one of the things I absolutely love and hate are these door handles. When you approach the vehicle, they pop out, but sometimes they don't. So you have to push on them and get them to pop out. So if I lock the car now, and now I can push on it, and it'll pop out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to push on it a bunch of times. When I'm loading my kids into the back seat of the car, sometimes I have to walk to the front to get the back ones to pop out because they don't register right. So just a little quirk that overall they're pretty cool that they retract and give it a very sleek look, but sometimes they don't work quite right. Storage on this car is absolutely incredible. This has got to have some of the most storage for its class, and especially cool that it has a frunk. The frunk is very spacious, and really the only maintenance you have to do is the windshield washer fluid up there. It also has a deep well in the back of the car as well. So here's another thing that absolutely drives me crazy. You can see the little yellow lines here just below the kilowatt rating. That means that my battery is not warm enough to give me full regen. So you can see the little yellow or little orange line up here. That's because the climate control is running. Even though we are stopped right now, the climate control is running, so it's consuming energy. So anything above the line, this is consuming energy. Anything where this sweeps below and turns green, you are regenerating. So this line here means that I do not have full regeneration. So it's unfortunate, but ultimately these battery packs need to be warm in order to push electrons into them as fast and efficiently as possible. So when you're all the way down here regenerating over 50 kilowatts of energy instantly, you need to have the battery warmed up in it to be able to do that. So that's one of the things I don't like about this car. But at the same time, one of the things I love about this car is regenerative braking. I barely ever hit the brake pedal in this car unless it's cold out and I can't have full regen. So very rarely use the brakes. You use them a lot more in the winter. That is one of the best things about this car, is one pedal driving. One of the other things I love about this car is the screen layout. I like that it still has the traditional dash right here, but then also this center screen here. There is so much you can do with this screen, and so much you can look at and see. This screen is phenomenal. I know the earlier screens had some yellowing around the edges and whatnot because they weren't quite automotive grade yet, but overall this thing is awesome. You can go into the entertainment section. You have to connect to Wi-Fi to do that, but there's games on it as well that you can play when you're supercharging, and this thing is awesome. So really happy as well that it's not the horizontal screen that's found in the Model 3 and Model Y. I do like having this separate screen and separate dashboard where, you know, when I'm driving, the close-up navigation pops up here, and then the far-away navigation is right here. And then you can change just a number of different settings and everything on this screen. So absolutely love this center screen. It is awesome. Another crazy thing about this car is just the sheer amount of data that you can have. So tracking how much total energy you've used, tracking your mileage, tracking your charging, everything like that. This car is fantastic if you are a data-oriented person and like to do data analysis. There's so much data that you can get from this. There are third-party apps that you can get with this car to help do that data analysis. It is absolutely fantastic for data-driven people. So we've departed ways with the Tesla, but I have some numbers for you guys and how much it cost me to drive this Tesla 22,800 miles or so. In order to go that distance, I needed to use 7,480 kilowatt hours to drive that distance. Now, there's not really a price per gallon. Your house usually has, in your electric bill, and your electric company has a price per kilowatt hour. So if I had charged this car at my house all the time and didn't use any Tesla superchargers or any fast chargers or anything like that, the average rate in the US per kilowatt hour is 13 cents per kilowatt hour. So taking that 7,480 kilowatt hours times 13 cents, it cost me $972 to drive 22,800 miles. But I bought this Tesla Model S brand new. And when you buy a new Tesla Model S or X, you usually have unlimited free supercharging. So a number of these miles, and I would say the majority of these miles, were put on during long trips, whether I drove to Detroit a few times, or I drove to Minneapolis or Iowa or North Dakota or Nebraska. I put a significant amount of miles on the car and used, whether it was the Tesla supercharging network or other free stations, Tesla destination charging, to charge my car. So I'm going to say that roughly 75% of my kilowatt hours were likely put into the vehicle by a supercharger, which was free to me. But to be conservative, I'll just say 50%. So if it cost me, if I had paid out of my own pocket and charged at my house all the time, it's $972. We're going to divide that by 2, and that is $486.20. So what did the Tesla cost me per mile to drive? If you take that $972 and you divide it by 22,800, you work out to about 4.3 cents per mile, which is fantastic. But again, I didn't charge the car at my house all the time. And so that would equate to 2.1 cents per mile to drive. There is no way you can do better than this in a gas vehicle. It is, and that is the reason why I bought this car. Unfortunately, I'm not driving for work much anymore, but my dollar per mile with this vehicle was extremely low. Now, if you had to pay for supercharging, or you bought a used Model S and had to pay for it, so you would be around 4.3 cents per mile. That is still extremely low. And I'll actually do a link to a video up above here where Sean breaks down kind of the dollar per mile from a Subaru, from an Audi, from a Tesla Model S. And he got right about 4 cents per mile as well. So I didn't have any maintenance. There's no maintenance on the car. You know, eventually I would have to do brakes, but with regen braking, it you know, my only consumables were literally electricity and tires. And so 2.1 cents per mile does really well, especially when you're getting reimbursed 59 cents a mile for your driving. Just some fun facts for you data-driven folks. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the Tesla videos along the way. I'm sad to say goodbye to the Model S, but I do see an electric vehicle in my future, and it might just be the Rivian R1T. Thanks for watching Detached Garage.